Show. That's right. Welcome back to a college football weekend review without Notre Dame stress. Ain't it relaxing edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thanks for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on, that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish. Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. Ain't nobody going to blame you for that. The call-in lines, keep them popping. 312-900-8815. Dialed up. Tell Uncle Johnny all you heard and seen. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, brought to you by Sports Illustrated. Read all about it every single day of the year, 365. We make it come live. All right, articles every day, patreon.com/Always Irish. He the former captain. He the leading tackler. It's Mike Goolsby and myself breaking it all down. All right. First things first. Pretty relaxing just to not have Notre Dame football to worry about. Here's the deal, though. There's been a lot of times where you're getting into November past Halloween and you don't have Notre Dame football to worry about. And also, you know, they're on their break or whatever. And then, but Notre Dame has so many losses. The other games don't really matter that much either. The key to all this is it's nice for us not to play and have that stress while we're watching all the other games that impact us. That's the key. That we're still alive enough watching all these other games is a fun and exciting process because you're not just watching it just to do it. It actually impacts Notre Dame. So you feel like you have skin in the game. You're able to watch these games, but not with the stress level that watching our team gives us. Really enjoyable. So let's get into these games and some of the reaction to it. First off, Penn State. Penn State, I've said it a million times. I'm sick of having to say it, but every time I say it, somebody pushes up against me and they think it's going to be different for some reason this year. Well, it isn't. Penn State, James Franklin is Brian Kelly, Notre Dame. Said it 50 times. This is 51. Oh, John, what do you mean? Pretty good recruiting, but not elite. You're going to beat the teams you have more talent than, which is usually 10 or 11, and then you're going to lose every single big needle-moving moment you're going to lose. It's almost frightening to me, the exact track James Franklin, Penn State, and Notre Dame and Brian Kelly are on. It's wild. Think about it. Legacy program, legacy helmet, you know, all this history, used to winning big in the old days, all that kind of stuff applies to Penn State and Notre Dame. Guy's been there a long time. Nobody could say he's terrible. You got to fire him. His win-loss record's outrageously good. It's just every single time you're in an actual big game moment with the chance to move the needle nationally, and for Penn State, you fall flat on your face. Here we are again. Here we are again. It's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. Okay? I'm sick of them always being talked about. Oh, this year it's going to be different. We got to rank them up in the top 5. Start out at like 7 every single year. Oh, yeah, this is going to be different. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Franklin is 3-18 against top 10 opponents. Hello, Brian Kelly land. Can you hear me? It's Brian Kelly calling. Join my land. That's Brian Kelly territory. 3-18 against top 10 opponents. And most of those losses, because of the conference he's in, are Michigan and Ohio State. 8 straight to Ohio State, to be exact. So it's so frustrating. I'm so sick of hearing that it's going to be different this year. And they blow through. Here's the other part of this. Where does Penn State get ranked now? Where does this get? And if you're wondering, John, come on, are you trying to find a way to have Notre Dame ranked over these guys? Hear me out now. Both these teams have one loss. And I understand Notre Dame's one loss is to the Huskies. And I understand these guys' one loss is to Ohio State. I understand those are different, obviously. But hear me out. Who have they beaten? Who has Penn State beaten that I am impressed with? Is it USC? Is it Illinois? Who? I'm curious. Who has Penn State? What is their signature win? The best ones I got on the ledger are USC and Illinois. I'm not impressed. So then what weighs more? What weighs more? Our good win or their good loss? What do you weigh more? I don't know. What matters more to the committee? Notre Dame's good win over A&M or these guys' good loss? Because they don't have a win to lean on. Their loss is really solid to Ohio State. Anybody could lose to that. But I'm just telling you, your best win you're leaning on in this fancy Big Ten they want to brag about is USC or Illinois. Get a grip of yourself. So I'm sick of Penn State. They're annoying. And there's something about Franklin, too. He carries himself like he's more accomplished than he is in a way Kelly did that bugs me. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the way Franklin moves and talks comes off a little Kelly-ish, like he's accomplished more than he has. You are 3-18 against the top 10. It's just, what do Penn State fans think? Are any of them, do they ever want more? Or are they happy being in Brian Kelly land where you beat the teams you should and you never win anything else? So I don't know. But I want to know, where do you rank these guys? I know they got a better loss than Notre Dame, but they don't have a win to stand on anywhere that I'm impressed with at all. So I don't know about that. How about Oregon 38, Michigan 17? Michigan's got 4 losses now. Here's the deal, man. You could argue it would actually help Notre Dame a lot if Michigan could not be bad this year now that they don't know everybody's plays that are coming, and they could actually beat these guys so they'd have 1 loss too, and then if they catch another one, anything could happen, whatever. It's just, listen, Michigan's just not good, and they're, 38-17. Here's the thing I'm getting sick of with Michigan. Number one is there's a lot of stuff popping with their recruiting right now. I hear they're getting serious about NIL, whatever. They're getting some recruits. They're trying to flip Kelly's quarterback recruit for next year. All this stuff's going on. Well, I want to know, what is the status of all that going to be when they get nailed with all these sanctions? They got the notice of allegations in the summer to give them a 90-day window, which is pretty much the whole season to respond or whatever. I want to know what's going to happen when they get nailed. All these guys going to want to go there when they're in a bowl ban for multiple years? You still want to go to Michigan? You still want your kid to go there? I want to know what's going to happen when all that hits. Right? So, I don't know. It's just, and I'm getting really sick of, on Twitter, all the Michigan fans saying, oh, it's okay, we're bad this year. We got the one we needed last year. At least we got that title to lean on. Yeah, for now, you clown. For now, you clown. So I'm waiting for the hammer to drop, and then I want these recruits to all leave. I want them to have a multiple-year bowl ban so they're screwed and nobody wants to go there, and I want asterisks and all those records wiped off the books. If something looks like a rat and it smells like a rat and its name's a rat, it's a rat. They sucked before Stallions. We're amazing with them, and they suck again without them. You don't got to be a genius to figure it out. Don't insult my intelligence. Whatever intelligence is left. So I'm sick of that narrative too. Oh, at least we won last year. Yeah, for now. Asterisk Central, bro. Here's something else pissing me off. Duke was beating Miami by 11 points and then collapsed. Everybody keeps getting up on Miami big and they can't finish the damn job. That's bugging me. That's bugging me. Every stupid week. Florida hung with Georgia right up until the point they didn't. Indiana pounds Michigan State. They were down 10-0 in this game. You're going, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, 47-10. 47-10. So now they moved to 9-0. And then I'm going to ask this too. Listen, I'm fine with Indiana having another good team in the Big Ten to compete. It doesn't bother me, whatever. I have an obligation. I have an obligation to the nation. to ask this. What's their biggest win? Nebraska? Who has Indiana played that you're impressed with? Just like I'm asking, I'm sorry, just like I'm asking who Penn State played that I'm supposed to be impressed with your win. Who does Indiana beat that I'm impressed with? Nebraska? You're 9-0, but who is that biggest win? Is it Nebraska? Is that the one I'm supposed to be overly impressed with? Now, I will say this. The way their games look and feel is impressive, though. Like, they don't win the way Miami's been barely getting by. They don't win like Brian Kelly and LSU should have 2 or 3 more losses, but keep getting bailed out by the refs on game-changing plays. Like, this isn't that. At least when Indiana plays, like, I love the style of play they play, and it looks like good football. It looks like good, solid, fundamentally sound football that I could get behind. I still have an obligation to ask, though. You're 9-0, and I'm not impressed with any of your wins. Nebraska, I guess, is the biggest one. You know what comes next, though? Michigan. Michigan comes next. So I know Michigan's no good or whatever, but like I'll feel a lot more sturdy Indiana's footing or whatever if you pound Michigan. Because that's just getting into different territory for Indiana. I'm just not used to seeing them beat a Michigan, Ohio State, something like that. So if you do it to Michigan, I'll believe it a lot more. And yeah, some of it is I'll like you more if you make Michigan people more miserable. That's part of it too. You know Johnny Old's biases. That's part of it too. So I'm just asking. I'm impressed with the way they look when they play the game and they're playing good football. But Nebraska and Washington are their best wins. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Texas Tech upsets Iowa State 23-22. There's your upset for the day. There's your upset for the Army beats Air Force with the backup quarterback, mind you, 20-3. 20-3. How about this? Florida State lost to North Carolina. I think they scored 11 points. They still haven't scored more than 21 in any game this year. Florida State has, I think they still have that one win, and it is unreal. You know, there's a lot of bad football teams in America or teams that just don't have a chance to compete for one reason or whatever, or another, whatever. Florida State theoretically has talent in that program, don't they? So, you know, this whole thing of what Notre Dame's got coming next, you can't be the team that gets Florida State another win. Like, that just you cannot be the team that allows Florida State to get another win. So, I mean, it's wild to me that this is how far they've fallen, but like, it would be embarrassing to lose to them. So this is really interesting what we got coming. Now, full disclosure. I'm recording this after the 2:30, 3 o'clock window before the 6:30, 7 o'clock game started. So up next, you have Louisville, Clemson. Listen, if Louisville plays good football, they can play with Clemson, even at Clemson's place. I think Clemson has played a bunch of teams they're way, way, way better than since the Georgia game and then like can do whatever and win them. Louisville should be able to play with them, even though it's at Clemson. I think it's at Clemson. They should be able to play with them if they play a good, solid game. And if they don't, they're going to get ran over. Kentucky, Tennessee, I don't know. Can Kentucky give Tennessee a scare or something? I don't know, but it seems like Kentucky's down. Pitt, SMU, which is a pretty good game to be stuck on the ACC network, to be honest. How about this? Texas A&M, South Carolina. Here's what I'm going to say. The most predictable thing of all time is for Texas A&M game sluggish at South Carolina. After the whole emotional thing, beating Kelly and LSU and everything at home and all that stuff, the most predictable first half of anything on this board, if you're going to bet it or whatever, is Texas A&M gets off to a slow start at South Carolina. They may come back and win it or whatever, but the most predictable thing there is for them to be dragging ass into an SEC road game after that emotional win against Kelly. They may win it, But I predict a slow, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they got off to a slow start at South Carolina. How about USC and Washington, a battle of the mids? I don't know what to expect, you guys. This USC team you never know what you're going to get week to week, series to series. You just have no idea what you're going to get. I have no idea what you're going to get. No idea. They play good football sometimes where I'm like, gee, crap, these guys can play with anybody. And look at this. And other times USC plays and it just looks totally disjointed and unbelievably awkward and bad football. And I know they don't have the depth up front on both lines. I think you need to compete, especially in the Big Ten. But like, they're so wildly inconsistent. I have no idea what to expect. So all of those games are still going. So we're going to have to die in here. We're going to have to wait and see what happens here. So I don't know what to expect with these. So that's the weekend review. I'm telling you, I enjoyed the hell out of it with no Notre Dame stress. And you can just sit here and judge all these other teams, have your rooting interests of who you want to win or lose. That helps prop Notre Dame up. I want to know what you guys think. What surprises you from this slate? Whatever. I don't know. The Penn State thing bothers me. Don't worry. This year it'll be different. Never. Let me know what you guys think.